Welcome back to the Lost Treasure of Yamashita. We are on episode 10, which I believe a fitting title would be The Waterfall. Because when we last left our heroes, the party made their way back to Luzon, suffering another plane crash as the old Japanese anti-aircraft took your plane down again. Luckily you made it to the shore and made it up through the jungle, following the directions. I think it was from Gwen who had the map for all the waterfall areas. It was either Gwen or Samantha, I forget. But you made it up to this waterfall area where Jordan has come up to clean off a bunch of the brush up at the top face. They've got a rope here. They set up a little camp, and in morning, the party kind of awakens. One housekeeping note I should also mention is Meg will not be able to join us for this session or for future sessions, so we say farewell to Pepper, our player, and Meg will be an NPC for the party for the foreseeable future. That out of the way, we return back. Dawn has hit the camp, and what do we see? Who's up first?
You say Dawn hits the camp, and I just imagine a briefcase flying at us. But I have a piece of paper with my transcribed notes that I took from him clearing off the cliff that I brought back. Could I give those to Gwen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I looked at those at the end of last session.
Oh yeah, you did. He didn't add that to his summary.
Remind me, what were they again? The notes were from what?
From this.
Oh, right, because you did go up there. So
Pyramid, lever, treasure.
Yeah, so you
Waterfall.
found some of those inscriptions say pyramid, lever, treasure. There was also some kind of ciphers that Meg was able to uncover from, what was it? It's the like a Japanese code language, and it the symbol pyramid means like there's a treasure. Hearts indicate like arrows, so if you find any of those, it's kind of like directional compass marks. So she's gone over that with you, and there's possibly more. Jordan was not really in tune with like what to look for so much as he was just clearing off the path up there. So
Well, Gwen was
I did up my linguistics though. So
Gwen was injured from the plane crash last night, and I she didn't want to go hiking around the waterfall, but with some divine inspiration, Gwen's feeling much better now. She's up and very excited to explore this area.
So is it that kind of scene in morning, kind of fog around, just still the ambience of the waterfall, the roaring, just constant splash of the cascade of water, and kind of a still otherwise morning, and Gwen's all chipper and excited. What about everybody else? Meg's probably still being fairly quiet. Pretty normal.
I was is there anybody in the party that needed any medical attention?
At this point, no. You've
Okay.
spent time yesterday to kind of cover that, and then a good night's rest. Everyone's feeling pretty good. Mostly just scars and bruises.
I think the last session, Jordan was asking to have the, against his better judgment, since the magic sets off the lodestone that previously he associated with monsters. But I believe he asked for the magic because he was going to try to dive under the waterfall and really take what's down in the deep.
We were also going to look at the top of the waterfall to see if anybody had previously either redirected the water or if there's signs of it being blocked. Just something along those lines also. It was an idea that Samantha was looking at.
Mm-hmm. So the rope is still set up. So if you wanted to climb, and then the river, or the lagoon, it looks like the water's churning pretty heavily over by where the water is. And I think, Jordan, you had swam in it earlier. And yeah, you can
Right.
tell that there's...
And when I swam earlier, I couldn't get close because of the falls. That's why I,
Mhm.
again, kind of against Jordan's better judgment, asked for the magic so that he could have, you know,
Kind of some sort of supernatural blessing, potentially.
So, Gwen would
yeah.
might have mentioned how that was the most powerful blessing she'd ever done last
Do you
night.
have the
For
Aquaman spell? We can use that.
Gwen would say how the most powerful blessing she had ever done must be something about this place. But she still has the shrine set up. He was thinking about trying to do a group blessing for everyone at all four of us at +2, or we could try to get just one person with power of the gods again.
If I'm going to be going underwater, I'd kind of like the +4 because not only would we have the dangerous water, but you know, I'm not sure there aren't monsters in it.
Or traps.
Like that's the thing. I'm like, am I going to swim down there and then have to fight a zombie off with my knife?
Let me see if I can try them. I mean, I know how to character Meg's an NPC now, but is there how many given the power to give all three of us?
Well,
Also, if you just do the magic on me, I can give
I think
Samantha my lodestone.
Meg would also chip in as you're talking over breakfast. You're probably heating up some, I don't know, hot dogs or something, whatever rations you brought. And Meg will say, if it's anything going underwater, I think I'm gonna stay and watch the camp because of my lung injury. I don't want to do anything underwater for a little bit if we can help it.
I think if you just did it on Jordan, we could just have him do a scout out.
That
And if
makes
I could
sense for her to spend some more time with her roommate.
Hmm. And then
also,
I can go up to the rocks with Samantha, and we can look around for any other signs or uncover. And then she's gonna point at this other kind of not trail, but like you can tell that there's some sort of anchor points or something on the side of this wall off to the right side of the falls. And Gwen, did you want us to try to uncover any of that stuff too, or no?
Yeah, you don't want to try to uncover that stuff too, but I kind of wanted to get a little bit of a boost myself too, not but doing that on one person is going to be the bigger ones to be hard to.
Also, if I'm going to be magicked, I'm going to give the lodestone to Samantha, figuring if I'm under the effects of a spell, it'll probably set it off the whole time and it will be not useful. So I'm going to hand it, I assume, doing so. I think Samantha's the best person to hand it off to until I come back from the,
Okay.
So a
the
major
depths.
blessing +4 would be a
That
minus.
way, if anything else sets it off, you guys will know.
Okay, so for Gwen, just one question on for casting. So you're all it's super early in the morning right now. So are you wanting to try to still do a blessing for all? Or are you going to all take generally enough time so that Jordan can have his own scene and then just the spell dissipates and you try to recast it again? Or do you want to try to do it simultaneously? So if you're going up there, or like what's the party want to do? You want to just do it like scene by scene where Jordan goes down first, or simultaneously?
Gwen's excited to explore this place. He kind of wants to get up to the top of the ruins and we'll start clearing this place off.
Okay.
I think we'll work on that for, and then well, Jordan does the scout out, and I think it would be fine just to. Are you gonna just give
Do you,
Jordan the?
well, that's the question. Is if you want to bless yourself too, you can do the group bless, especially if you're all being obedient to Gwen and allowing you to be in the circle and like all hold each other's hands. If you're down to do that kind of hokey pokey stuff, then there's that bonus that you can take.
Okay, so I have a plus.
It goes down 2 per person is the thing.
Yeah, that I could have done 2 to everyone, all 4 of us. I remember.
Why don't you just do you and Jordan, and I can I don't need it. It's fine.
And
Just do
then
you and Jordan.
Doing the touch though, that would negate one of the -2s, I believe. So you'd be at a -2 instead of a -4, right? And then you can negate that with style if you wish.
Bonus is a +5. So with the touching, that's a 7. -2 to go up to a 4. That's down to 5. Another person, that's down to 3.
So your average would be 1 plus. So it would just take longer, but I think that's doable because you're not in.
No, if you roll a 0, it stops the whole process of.
But
the...
if you're not like in a combat situation, you can just take the average, right?
That's what me and
GM's call whether you can take the average
yeah,
of any
yeah,
given.
but that's kind of
Okay.
his call.
That's what I was thinking. If you're not in under pressure, the most pressure you'd be under is getting everybody to sit still for your spell. So if everybody's or whoever's involved is being again complying, then I would allow you to take the average.
So if
And Jordan and Samantha don't remember the time that they tried the spell as a party and Roland lit the dynamite off the ceremonial candle.
Yes, hopefully this group is more complying.
Yeah,
But,
now
Meg and
that
Samantha
we all
both
kind of know
willing,
each other's.
oh, hold on. You're both talking. What was that?
with Meg and Samantha both willing to sit it out, they can do a +4 to the two of us.
Okay, and would Jordan allow that, even if it takes a couple minutes of? I guess this is like Egyptian chanting.
Again, now that Jordan knows what's going on, yes.
Okay.
Now that he knows that this is beneficial magic and it's not like the spell starts and then his spidey sense goes
Might
off.
be a good
for no
idea for me
reason.
to hold on to that during the ceremony, just so you don't instinctively freak out.
Right, and that's what I said, figuring it would be constantly going off if I had it while I was enchanted. I was going to give it to Samantha.
Okay.
Just to warn you guys,
And-
should anything else magical pop up.
And I think knowing what the sensation I'm supposed to be looking for will be interesting to fail. So yeah.
So as this begins, then, so Gwen, what does it look like as you're doing your magic?
Last night she set up a little shrine to Egyptian shrine, so there's probably a little stone that represents the Eye of Ra, and they both have their hands on it, and kind of between them, and it goes through the tent, and there's probably a candle involved, and just both their hands on the stone that representing the Eye of Ra, and
Do you ask Jordan to do anything during this spell, or is it just hold the?
keep your hand there and repeat pod or chant.
Okay, if Jordan, are you repeating any of the chant as instructed?
Best I can, not speaking ancient Egyptian.
Do you?
It's in a language I don't know, so
It's phonetically copycatting it, basically. And
yeah, like I'm trying to get the syllables right and hoping I don't say the wrong thing that suddenly
I'm trying to
offends
remember
the gods. And
so I don't remember if you need to have the magic skill or not to be able to assist with a magic spell, but I think if you have extra people chanting, it does increase the potency.
I think you do.
So
Should we roll linguistics?
Unless
I think let's you can roll a linguistics check, and if you roll high enough, I'll allow that bonus for the chanter. Oh,
so glad I upgraded this.
Samantha, are you joining in too?
Was I not part of it?
I think Jordan and Gwen were the ones getting the spell. Correct, Eric?
Yeah, if we're going for the +4, I can't get.
Okay, no, that's perfectly fine.
But are you still like hanging out there and chanting in too?
I probably won't be Well, will my support help him, even if it's not directed towards me?
Do you have magic?
Because I'll help with it. No, I don't.
Okay. Are you going up to the diagram of Ra and like touching it too?
If I'm not touching it, I'm listening for what he's saying, trying to see if I can like understand any of it or anything like that, and that'll just be my linguistics
Okay.
linguistics roll if
So
I'm
yeah,
not
kind
participating.
of more from the background, you do kind of copy along. It does not benefit the spell, however, but you do
Okay.
kind of follow along. Now, Jordan, on the other hand, kind of not clueless, but like hanging in there, and the fact that she's for saying it first and then you repeat it, you are successful, and Gwen would get a little bit of that chanter's boost of having a follower. Again, we're taking the average for this, but it goes a little bit faster than it would before. So you both feel kind of this empowering feeling, this energy, this vibrant, like the sleep is just kind of gone from your heads and you're just excited to get going. And over in the back, Samantha, Meg has
Now,
already started to go climb over to the rope and is beginning to climb up. But
what do I feel with the rock?
That's exactly what we're going to go. So that kind of inside ache in your chest, just feeling generally blah in the morning, it dissipates very quickly and is replaced with kind of a humming energy from the lodestone. It kind of vibrates a little and actually becomes warm
Through
to the
my
touch.
body?
Just around
Is it like...
the area where the lodestone. It's a necklace, right?
Yeah, it's well.
Okay.
I don't think it's meant to be, but Jordan put the stone on like a
It's like a lanyard type thing.
Ring or something.
So yeah, assuming it's around your neck, then yeah, it's like hanging just over your chest heart area, and that's where the warmth and vibration is a little bit, that hum, and you feel like you are very close to some sort of supernatural energy. It's like nothing you've experienced before, stuff you've read about potentially with various Atlantean artifacts, but you've never come into proximity with it.
Okay.
Technical question for the GM, because I think Jordan would know this even if Adam doesn't.
Yeah.
Guns for this period. If I were to go into the water with it, obviously I couldn't shoot it underwater, but would it damage the gun at all?
So what is your pistol that you have? It's not specified. It's semi-automatic or revolver.
I'm assuming it's like a semi-automatic. He grew up on an American military base, so I'm assuming it's kind of standard issue.
Okay, so semi-automatic, you'd be able to shoot 1, maybe 2 shots underwater before it kind of jams. It would not be damaged, but your ammunition, if it gets wet, then it could just be unfireable. But yeah, if you have a well-made pistol, you can go underwater with it and at least get the first shot off generally.
Okay. I mean, he's going to be using his Tanto underwater. He's just wondering if it's... Or, again, Jordan would know. As a player, I was just wondering, should he leave the gun? But no, he's going to keep it holstered.
That is as close to real-world realism as I am aware of, so...
Yeah. Most of the time I use black powder weapons, and those, no. You get them wet.
Yeah, precisely.
Get them wet, and you can hit someone with them.
And hence a revolver.
Right.
Like, the revolver does not have kind of a sealed chamber, and so the bullets would get wet. But a semi-automatic, the first round, assuming it's chambered, should be fireable in most tests.
And I guess that makes sense, because all those guys storming the beaches in Normandy probably didn't keep their guns dry.
Yeah, some people in the Normandy, they had plastic shrouds over their rifles, and then they got to the beaches, they tore them off. So,
right.
Sorry, Eric.
So I'm going to make the athletics roll.
Yeah, go for it. And then you're at a +4 with the magic. And Eric, you said something?
So I should probably leave my revolver at the fire camp over here?
If you're going to go in the water, or if you have a way of just covering it, yeah.
I just want to get over to this rope and climb up.
Yep, you can go around it. There's a pathway around the lagoon you can take. And with the rope, you can just climb up, unless you have like a 0 athletics.
At least a +4 to it.
Yeah, so you're fine. So Jordan, as you kind of jump in and begin to swim, where are you trying to go in the water?
As far down as I can, and as close to the waterfall as I can, to see if there's anything beneath it.
Okay. So as you submerge it's easy to go down once you get close. There's so much water just kind of pounding down that it kind of propels you. And you are able to submerge into the center of the lagoon. Your breath, however, is beginning to run out. What would you like to do now that you're kind of in the water?
So do I need to make?
You should have dived from the top of the waterfall.
Do I see anything like a sunken pyramid?
You can roll a perception check.
Do I see anything like sunken pyramids?
So roll perception. It is at -2. So net +2 because of your... Actually, perception, would that be... That's a secondary attribute. Does that get the +4?
Yeah, that's not a skill. The magic wouldn't help it.
Okay, so it's a -2.
Oh, in that case, let me re-roll, and this is going to be bad.
Okay, it's actually just about as good as the other one. So once you get down, you can see the outline on this kind of blurry from all the bubbles and being underwater. It's naturally dark at this period where you're at, but you do see that it's like a giant bowl. This lagoon goes, I don't know, probably 15 feet down. You can swim down to the bottom. You don't see any natural pyramidic structures or anything. There's rocks, and then the current kind of sweeps down going to the south there. With a 2, that's about as much as you see from your initial look, and you're starting to time to go up for air type of a situation.
Sure.
Now, before you go up, so Gwen, Samantha, and Meg has already gone up here. Are you both all climbing up to the top?
Yeah, I would climb up to the top as well.
Okay, so I'll put you up there too. You can see the area that Jordan has cleared, this kind of crisscrossed area. Getting close to it, Gwen, you can see the different kind of signs carved into it, these glyphs made directly into the stone. You can see some of them are the Japanese symbols, which Meg begins to kind of look at eagerly. And then there are a couple other signs of old movement, and anchors have been made into this. At one point there must have been a whole scaffold crossing over the waterfall. There's signs of it. The Atlantean runes that you see in Atlantis, in the Atlantean language, are the words pyramid, and then there's the sign for lever, and you can kind of uncover this now that you have more time and daylight. It basically says utilize the pyramid, open the channels, and change the waterfall. Something to that effect.
Are you doing this, Gwen?
She would, after reading it to herself silently, she would repeat it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there is something beneath the waterfall if pyramid changes the flow, or somehow to redirect the water.
So would you tell us what you're reading?
Yeah, she would
Yeah.
translate it directly as close as she could English, but
I would add.
Are these ruins 30 years old or thousands of years old?
You can roll for that as well. That would be your archaeology, which is what, history? I don't think you have an actual... It's just academics.
It's academics if we're using HEX rules, anthropology if you're using the expanded skill set from Leagues of Adventure.
I wasn't, so I think it's the history. So you can tell that the structure around here, like this rock, while the scaffold marks where big anchors and beams were installed at one point, that's from the 40s. But the waterfall itself, this has been here for years and years and years. Stuff around here has been part of the landscape for forever. And that you're only searching this kind of cleared off area so far, right?
Well, I'm mainly focusing here, but she would be looking around for anything that would be standing out and obvious, but that's where she's starting at least.
Yeah. So you can tell that this whole face has been pretty much unchanged for a long time. It scales back way before, many hundreds of years old.
Um,
That
I
would be a difference between the Japanese characters and the Atlantean ones. Yeah, the Atlantean ones have been there for years and years and years.
okay. I'm just going to ignore the picture then, because the way the landscape is, it wouldn't last for that long.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay.
But it's a
Okay.
big rock face. The plants
Okay.
sure are different, but
So these rocks that would have come from a higher elevation that are sitting here have been here. Okay. Okay. Got it.
yes, it's ignore realistic geology.
Okay. Okay. Ignoring realistic geology.
It's from the science. It's the movies.
Plot hole alert.
Ignoring realistic geology, can I roll to see if I see any ancient signs of blocking the waterfall?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Investigation.
And do you
Not
have
academic.
geology? Academics geology?
I have academics history. So.
And is that, we said that's what's considered the archaeology? Let me see.
The same one I scrolled with history.
So academics,
Archaeology, I would do academics history with a bonus for linguistics, but that's just me.
I think Samantha has a decent academics history.
I do have academics history at a 4.
I will
and
allow you
I
to
have
take.
linguistics
I
at
will.
a
I will allow you to take a
5.
bonus because Gwen is kind of with you, and she's actually the archaeologist too, and I know she's got a higher than a 4, so you can roll with your +2.
On investigation or academics?
Academics.
Okay. At a +2?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So there is too much brush to even really expose the area, so that's probably what you start to work on, or Meg comes over to help you and begins to clear that area a little bit.
Yep, it's because this landscape has been unchanged for so long that the brush is here.
Yes,
so why.
many hundreds of years. I'm taking away a stat point for you. No, I'm just kidding. Back to Jordan, swimming around, kind of the classic underwater shot of Jordan Locke floundering, looking in all directions, bubbles coming out of his mouth as he is underwater. You begin to swim up. I do want to try to hold your breath again and go further down and like look around more.
No, I'm not interested in drowning. I'm going to come up, breathe, and then go back down.
Are you sure? Go ahead and roll your athletics again with your +4.
Okay. This is... Athletics. GM is a merciful god letting me do this as athletics with a +4 and not as a straight up body roll with nothing.
Well, swimming is athletics. Holding your breath would be body, I think.
Could be.
So the fact that you're going back up for air, you regain your breath, and if you wish to go back down, with the 4 successes, you can just go back down. It's fine. It's going up against the pounding water, which is the hard part. So if you
Jordan comes up, gets air, and then heads back down.
So if you go back down, I will let you roll your choice of perception or investigation. Depending on what you're choosing is kind of going to give you different information.
Oh, things that everyone else has investigation. I never took it, so perception it is.
Okay.
Kind of looking around, any ruins, just the rock under the waterfall look like a giant skull,
Is there a
your
giant
basic stuff.
opening that leads to treasure?
No, as you go down, you can see the mouth of the river kind of goes that way. It looks pretty much normal, and when you turn around, the rush of water in your face from the position is not conducive for you to be able to look around to the floor very well, and you find yourself kind of like trying to reposition under the water, get out of the current, you do not really see anything worth noting. Do you want to try to resurface again, or do you want to do a body roll to hold your breath further? Basically, every time you can attempt to.
I'm going to try the body roll this time, and then maybe try again to get a better look.
Sure.
I'm going to throw a style point into this.
Okay. Okay, yeah, you took a big gulp of air when you're up there. You still got some time down here. Now that you're kind of like knowing what you're dealing with, you're prepared. It's just hard to see. So if you want to try to relocate around and try to perceive again, you can roll another perception check.
Yes, I would.
I'll move you over a little bit.
I'm going to throw a point into this one too, because my perception checks have been so great lately.
At least they're not 0.
True.
Like my history.
Okay.
Is that all successes?
That is a really good roll. All successes. So
yeah, I'm in full Aquaman mode, basically having echolocation.
So you get down to the actual floor. You're about 15 feet down, maybe 12 in some areas. You're kind of pulling yourself up towards the waterfall a little bit, feeling the rock floor, the difference. Some of it has algae. Sometimes when it gets to the exposed rock where all the water's pounding, it's pretty much clear. And then you feel something that's definitely rock, but it is smooth, like it's been chiseled or worn. The heavy water blasting down on it may have eroded it a little bit, but it's also so deep down that it seems to be also oddly square. Like it doesn't feel the natural smooth of a rock that's surrounded by water. It feels squared, like it's about maybe a 4x4 slab.
I'm gonna push on it.
Okay. No roll is
That's
needed.
A button.
Nothing happens.
I'm going to go back up for air and to tell the others that there's a button that apparently I'm not strong enough to push on my own.
Okay, go ahead and roll your athletics. +4.
Right. Out of the water I go, hopefully.
Okay, definitely enough. You can surface anywhere, even under the waterfall with a 5. So wherever you want to pop up, you can.
Not directly under the waterfall.
Impromptu.
I mean, ideally somewhere where they're going to be able to see me from wherever they are.
So like Central Lagoon, somewhere over here, and then you can shout up to them. The waterfall is what, 25, 30 feet? I forget what I said. It's like up the cliff, probably like 25 feet. So as you pop up, Gwen and you've kind of been looking around, gauging the age of this. Meg and Samantha have just been uncovering up the top over there, and then you hear a call from down at the water.
Before that happened, would I have been able to ask, like, if the lever was around here, or if he thinks or she thinks the lever is in the pyramid?
Sure, you can ask.
I think the lever is. You had a picture of a pyramid in a jungle. I think the control device is somewhere nearby with an above water pyramid, and then what we're looking for is something underwater.
Yeah, I think there is something under there. But we don't know where the pyramid is the problem. Okay, and Jordan pops up.
Yep. Sploosh.
Jordan, did you find something under there?
I found something. I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely man-made. It's carved. The angles are too square to be natural. I thought it was maybe a button, and I tried to push it, and it's not a button.
Are you sure?
It's
not
heavy. It's a big
bring...
rock.
It could be a door, not a button.
It's a big stone, like maybe a yard squared.
Could you bring it up here?
No, it's a giant stone, a yard squared. That's a no.
You're like, it's this big. No.
Is there anything written on
Boulder.
it?
Aquaman can do it.
I'm giving y'all stoplights. This is funny.
It's a giant stone. Can you bring it up? That's a no.
Is there
Um,
anything written
was
on
there-
this giant stone?
With a 6
Was there anything
perception,
written on it?
there were there were channels in the rock surface, so maybe yes, but definitely nothing in English.
So not sure if it was writing, but definitely some kind of symbol carved into it.
What I've been able to uncover so far seems to suggest there is a pyramid somewhere nearby that is a control mechanism, like a dam, like a dam lever or something that would redirect this waterfall and allow access to whatever's below.
Do you think we could artificially block it? At least, not make it to where it doesn't, even if we don't completely block the waterfall, maybe at least make it not quite so powerful. Or potentially make it to where the water will flow out of it faster.
Wow.
Uh,
Limited equipment. I've got a
For the
tiny.
water to flow out of it faster, we'd have to widen the mouth of the river, leaving the lagoon, and that's generally a project that takes a lot of men and a lot of construction equipment.
Okay.
We have we've just got our backpacks that we salvaged from the plane. We're limited on supplies. We don't have an army of beavers.
Do we have any dynamite? Any areas upstream that look like they would be good to,
If you mention dynamite, roll an empathy check, Samantha.
They were talking about it before, if I'm not mistaken. Empathy.
Does anyone have the demolition skill? Because I don't love the idea of doing
Nope.
dynamiting untrained.
You don't really notice Meg's kind of like, I might know where some dynamite is, but I'm not gonna say anything.
I know. I mean, time is unfortunately the essence because we've got people after us. But if the archaeologist in me wants to figure this out, do this slow and careful, and find this pyramid and set it off the normal way. But I don't always have that luxury with armed mercenaries after us.
I'm inclined to agree, but I'm just trying to find a way to block this river, and I'm not seeing anything. Can I look back and see if I see anything again with just a
Now that it's
investigation?
clear. Yeah, now that it's clear, you can roll it again.
Investigation or academics?
Can I help with this time, or can I take the lead and
Yeah, if you
I have
want
a
to take...
5 investigation.
Well,
You have a
this would
bonus.
be kind of, I think we said more archaeology, because I guess I could have you roll investigation, but Gwen, if your archaeology is higher than the investigation, I think you can kind of work together and get a +2.
Yay!
I did not roll very well?
Okay.
I only had 5 successes when the average should be 6.
I love how you say you didn't roll very well and you got a 5.
The beauty of magic users. So Samantha and Meg have cleared the area, and as you kind of follow the rock, probably, I don't know, do you have an archaeologist brush and stuff, even sweeping the rock a little? You do notice that further up from the waterfall, there seems to be not a track, but somehow the rock can move. It doesn't seem to be any kind of mechanical mechanism that you can really find. but it does seem to have like a mouth that the rocks can close.
Okay, so this is what closes and redirects. If it closes, I see where the waterfall would go.
Yeah, it looks like it's a like a
But
rain path, like rainwater goes down this alternate channel, but right, it's just covered with vines and
like this
stuff. But
side,
yeah, it goes off to the side, and in theory would just kind of reconnect with the river and through via a different path. But no, there's no water damage from there except for just like rain.
Is there a device to change the channels?
No, nothing that Gwen can see, even with her 5 successes.
supposedly the writing suggests that that's what the pyramid is for. It can't be too far away.
But all of
There's a
us,
lot of jungle.
maybe it's underground. You
But
guys said you were digging underground. It makes complete sense for there to be tunnels. And if that's the case, there should also be air tunnels around too. However, I don't think we're going to be able to find those in this place.
This
The real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
is probably not
Who actually believes Jordan thinks that? Like, definitely not.
Jordan says that it's
how they got
either
it.
sarcasm or he's trying to scam you.
What was that, Eric?
This is probably not ancient. This is probably just how they got up there.
What you found on the other side is those anchor points. It was probably most definitely a scaffold had been mounted to there, and so those drill marks are from bolts and wedges to hold up the stairs.
I think we really need to scour that area for ancient stuff. That would only probably be stuff from 30 years ago.
Could we try to manually move the rock?
Drill marks, or are they supposed to insert dynamite into?
Do you want to try to swim up to the bottom one and try to investigate it?
Who?
Jordan? Or nobody's gone to really do anything. So if you're asking, like, is that in character? Like, you're gonna go check?
I think if anyone else is gonna go try to dive down, we're gonna need to remove the magic to. Like, Jordan's probably the strongest swimmer here, and he was having trouble even with the magic. So, if anyone else is gonna go, I think we need to magic that person.
I would die if I did it, so I don't think I'm the appropriate person. I think trying to move this rock is less feasible, but my safety is more secure with that.
Let's see, where's...
I can't tell what the mechanism is. I can't see a direction that would have come from.
It looks like the rocks will slide out together. There's almost like natural rock teeth, but it looks like it perfectly connects.
Megumi you're a good climber. Is there a dirty tree you might be able to see which direction the pyramid is?
I can try. I'm out of ideas otherwise, apparently. And she will try to climb the tree for you. That'll be athletics. She's not very athletic, so she will throw a style point in.
I want to continue kind of clearing this area, see if there's anything Jordan didn't clear while she's looking for the pyramid.
Okay. Megumi climbs that one tree that's left up there and begins to try to spy out around the areas. She's got direction sense as well.
I think before the spell wears off, I'm going to go back down around the base of that rock. Just going to kind of dig around the base of it, see if I can gauge how far deep it goes.
Sure. Let's see. I don't think you have a skill that's perfectly in tune with it, but I could see that kind of being like trying to defeat if it's a doorway of some sort, that could maybe be a larceny roll, but at a -2, so net +2. I could allow that rather than just investigation attempt.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, as you kind of feel around it, you submerge yourself all the way down. Using your tanto, you kind of like carve out sections of loose silt and rock, and yeah,
If I'm
some of
doing
it.
that, I'm using the machete. My tanto is for killing things.
Sure, fair. So, yeah, maybe it's the machete then, or maybe just a sharp stick that you're using to try to pry out some of these larger rocks. There is kind of a bubble as one of them blows the rock that you're trying to wedge out, and then you can see water is now starting to drain inside, right into the underneath the rock slab.
I'm gonna go let everyone else know this.
Okay.
Surface and tell everyone else.
Okay.
Ooh, let's hope it doesn't. That's not. There should be. Hopefully, there should be some safeguard that it won't flood the entire place.
Gwen, Meg descends the tree and comes over to you. Do you have your map, or is that down at the camp?
I think I will left that down at the camp, honestly.
I will want to double check, but I think Breach 6 is on the other side of that mountain. And she points over to whatever direction that would be. That would be east, southeast, more
So you're saying
eastish.
Breach
So
6 is on the opposite side of this mountain.
when Roland and I explored the other passage, it moved west. It might. I would want to double check the map, but it might be close to this area.
Did you get to the end of the other passage?
No, it was blocked.
So that whole area might be what's underneath us now.
She looks
And
down.
you didn't see a pyramid?
If
No.
Jordan is, I don't know if Jordan can even hear this conversation from down in the water.
With the
But if they
Probably
share
not.
this idea with him, his thought is, well, since he shared with them that the water's flowing in, maybe they could roll intelligence to see if they figured out that that's where this leads. It's probably flooded by now.
We should try to block the waterfall. To try to limit water.
No. Was the stuff up here that was in Japanese and from the 40s? Was that just from scaffolding, or was that writing? Cipher, you said.
She kneels down. No, this is in This is characters from the Golden Lily, which is a Japanese treasure script. This is from probably Yamashita or his men.
Okay, so the Atlantean stuff is telling about the pyramid. If the Japanese stuff that was added later, gotta be some kind of direction. Well, it doesn't have to be, but logically, it would seem to be some kind of directions to where the control mechanism is. Can you read that or figure out a cipher? Would that give a GPS coordinate or land coordinates or direction?
I had a crazy idea.
Go ahead.
Crazy idea.
I would
Like-
prefer a good idea.
Well, it's not us. It's like what happened. It doesn't affect us. Does that mountain look like a natural mountain? Because like the size of this pyramid, it should be huge. Does that mountain look like it could cover a pyramid?
Everybody can roll intelligence checks, maybe? I don't know. What would that be? Just
I told you
like,
it's a crazy idea. It's probably not. It's probably not even right. Never mind. Maybe.
Doesn't have to be a giant pyramid, but it could, and that's
Yeah.
a very interesting idea.
yeah, Gwen, looking at the mountain here, it's vaguely pyramid shaped. I mean, there's obviously smaller mountains and offshoots and stuff. It doesn't look like what was in the picture. In fact, looking at the mountain, and this is something that nobody even thought to check, but as you roll 3 for your intelligence, looking at the mountain and then remembering the picture that Samantha has, the mountain is the same mountain in the background. The only difference is the perspective is off. It looks like from the picture is further over from where you're at. But the size of the mountain, the shape, it's the same mountain in the picture.
The background of the picture.
From what's behind the pyramid.
Can we use that to figure out a direction? With survival or wisdom or intelligence or something?
Yep, you can go down to take a look at it and
Yeah.
try to triangulate based off of that. That would be definitely survival.
Yeah. I think that's what we're probably all going to do right now.
Okay. You can all descend down, and Jordan has just been treading water here. It's filling up with water, guys!
Jordan, come get your rock.
Yeah,
Alright.
the
Yeah,
rock is beginning to dwindle with its warmth.
You might want to get back before you drowned, is what your rock is telling me.
Okay. Yeah, I get out of the water and reclaim my lodestone.
Okay. Now, sopping wet, you can see the girls all kind of like digging through their packs to pull out Samantha's picture. And yeah, who wants to make this? Oh, go ahead.
This place has been there for since before the Egyptian Empire, before the first dynasty. If water is getting down there, it's been down there for a while. Hopefully, the Byzantines were smart enough to build some kind of safety thing that it flows into the river another way.
The grease trap.
Who wants to roll survival?
I have a 5 in survival.
I think I have that. Hold on.
So at the very least, somebody
Nope.
can roll it with assistance.
I have a 4 in survival.
Okay, so
I don't know if my
No.
magic bonus is still active or not.
It's still
Is
the
his
same
magic-
scene. It's the end of the scene, but it's still the same
Okay.
scene, and you'd get a plus
Have-
2 assistance.
what about Megumi? Could Megumi give him assistance as well?
I don't think you can double up assistances, and her survival is not that
can.
good.
You can double up assistance.
You can.
Surprisingly, survival's
Jeff
not
and
her skill.
Jeff and Trevor and I in the last campaign all looked it up. You can.
Okay, well, you do have a plus 2 from me and whatever your magic is.
Okay.
Is 7 enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking up, turning the mountain a little over, kind of where you're at, you are very close to where it would be, but you're too far west. If you move to the east, you can find it pretty easily. In fact, you probably can see it looking up at where the next ridge line is. With a 7, you think that ridge line, which is probably maybe a 30-minute hike, because it's a lot of uphill, and forging your way through the jungle, you could probably recreate that same picture from a ridge that's not too far away.
Well, Samantha, do you want a picture of you in front of the pyramid?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing. Dial point of words because
Do we have a camera?
Yeah. My video camera and the still camera.
Okay, yeah, that was a crazy idea, but at least, yes, that, I'm glad we figured this out at least.
okay. At this point, everybody please roll perception.
Oh, great.
Oh, We were not under
At this
attack.
point, we notice the lake is completely dry. It's all gone into the ruins.
It doesn't seem to be that much.
I see
So,
nothing. I'm packing up camp and excited about that pyramid.
and then
I
I forgot.
was saying,
Meg suddenly shouts, "Everybody down!" And she kind of dives into the brush.
I dive into the brush.
Okay. You
we're
hear.
also gentle because lots
I-
of something.
We built. I
dive
purpose.
into the brush and pull out my.
Mhm.
As a side note, I do want to say that I did camp under the brush, so
Yeah.
we wouldn't be out in the open. Specifically, when that plane flew
Mhm.
over.
Well, it's not a
Yeah.
plane. You hear over the rush of the waterfall. You hear the whine of the rotors as a helicopter flying very low and slowly kind of begins to come up over that ridge that you were just kind of looking at, flying low over, looking around. You can see kind of the pilot with his big goggles and helmet, and there's a gunner on one of the turrets. It looks like one of the Vietnam War Huey helicopters, and it's just flying around, scanning the trees, the rivers, looks at the falls, but doesn't kind of hang around. It keeps going. Everybody can now roll stealth checks.
I use style points, please.
You
I'm
can.
picturing there's some. I'm picturing some guy in the helicopter talking about how much he loves the smell of napalm in the morning.
Exactly.
Vietnam War movie helicopter.
Yeah.
You guys like to stealth point stealth too because
You also don't forget you have your +4. This is the edge of the. This would actually kind of be a new scene, wouldn't it? Yeah. Sorry, new scene. Meg's using a style point too. Just barely.
because I don't have a natural rocket launcher to take on a helicopter.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
Gwen, you should have used style points more than
I
that.
did.
Oh no.
Modify one.
Gwen's been noticed.
Oh man.
I half expected that scene to go. Meg says take cover, and then something blows her head off.
Lost opportunity. It is interesting to note that the helicopter continues on. Nothing seems to happen from it. It is still there. You can see it continuing down the river, kind of flying slowly.
Down this full river.
Yeah, so I came up over the ridge where potentially the pyramid is, flew down over to where the waterfall is here, and curved down and started following it downriver.
Oh.
Yeah, but no matter how slow it's going, it's probably too high up to stab, so I got nothing.
Yeah. I just got. Did it look like they came from where we think the pyramid is?
From your perspective, it flew over that, so it came from whatever's behind on the other side of the mountain.
Okay.
Maybe the pyramid, maybe breach 6, maybe the landing strip.
Okay. Okay. Well, I think we should get up and take the rope with us and make sure there's no signs of camp. Maybe
Yeah.
use some brush to cover that area we cleared off. Did you get a picture of it and pretty good details of what it says? Because I think it's time to cover it up.
I imagine, I guess I didn't state that I would, but I imagine he has the camera, the video camera, and the still camera for archaeological stuff. I'm imagining that would be a natural thing for her to do is
Kind of
that
be bringing it. Now I'm imagining the video camera is that on like a tripod type thing. It's not like probably the King Kong like winding one, but it's.
That's so what I was thinking was the King Kong winding one. You just ruined it by saying it's not.
exactly
Yeah.
your portable home.
King Kong landing one or GTFO?
It's probably designed to like take pictures, like set up a tripod and like kind of like videotape or ruin and kind
Yeah.
of for the study, not for like quick.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you want to do with it? Do you want to take it with you as you try to move up to the second site, or do you want to leave it here?
I guess she's been carrying it in the backpack for this long. Do you think is he saying it's gonna slow her down?
Well, it's heavy. I mean, you can bring it. It's not going to be disruptive, probably.
We're
So,
going to see a ancient pyramid that is potentially.
Yeah,
so
I think
bring
it'd
it.
be
Okay. How much time do you want to spend here at the waterfall to kind of cover up the hack marks of the cleared brush?
Enough to make it look like we weren't here, but not enough for people to catch up with us if they're coming up the waterfall.
Okay. So someone can roll survival to try to, or stealth. Actually, stealth might be more of the appropriate to conceal your traces.
I have stealth at a 3 and survival at a 5.
Okay. Meg
Could I?
has a pretty good stealth. She can do it if no one else. She's got a 5.
Okay. I feel like we should get a synergy bonus with survival.
Yeah, that's fair. But she doesn't have survival. Good enough.
Can she get assistance from my survival? Giving her directions for like
Sure.
pull that branch down. That branch has a bunch of mud
Sure.
above it.
Okay, 3. So you spend the next 20 minutes patching up the open spots where it just looks like it's been very obviously cleared. Just drag the old brush back. It's not dead yet, so or it doesn't look dead yet. And you're able to kind of break camp. And if you want to go up to the hike up to the next spot, you may do so.
I believe we do so. As does the waterfall kind of follow up the way we're going? Like it's
No,
coming
you're
from the pyramid?
no, you're moving east of it, so it'd be
Okay.
parallel.
Okay.
Let me see if I have a picture of it. I don't know if I have a picture of the pyramid site.
Oh,
I think I was like
that would
trying
be such
to.
a cool photo.
Let me see.
I have an image of it in my head.
I think we might be imagining it in our heads.
Yeah.
God, that idea. So,
Shoot,
That
yeah,
would be cool if you
because
did have an image of it.
well, I don't seem to have the correct one.
Hey, Eric, you're cutting in and out so bad. What were you saying?
then my picture might look a little Mayan with the jungle and the forest around it.
So here I will just have to describe it, I believe. Man, that's too bad. I'm sorry.
If you find it later, you can post it in something.
So you hike, you climb, you
And we get rid of
carve your
that
way.
fire pit.
Yeah, you can delete it. You climb up through the jungle. At some points, it literally is. You're climbing a rock face by the vines hanging from it. But you make your way to the east, up to the ridge. Every now and then pausing at like an outcropping to check the photograph. You can see the mountain there, and you're getting closer and closer. And then it gets to a point where you get to not a ledge. It's like a big jungly clearing, and in the middle of it, from this ledge, you can look down. You can see the waterfall a little bit further away. You're higher up in elevation to it. And up against the mountain face behind, it's all again covered with greenery. And on this ledge, this plateau, it's probably like 20 feet wide and drops on one side and rock wall climbing on the other. In the middle is this big mound of brush, vines. It's probably a 10-foot tall looking rock. And as you get closer to it, you can see the vines are easily, you can pull it off like ivy, and it is a flat, smooth rock surface behind it. And on each side, it does make a pyramid. The pyramid is only 10 feet wide, 10 feet deep, 10 feet tall, and all like angled in. A perfect pyramid in structure.
How about that photo, Gwen?
It's been off the vines first, but for a
I
better
don't.
photo. But
With all the planes going overhead, I think it's best to not fully clear it, but move brush as needed and then move back.
Yeah, actually, from here you can see the helicopter further out. You're now at a point of elevation where you're higher than it because it's descending down the mountains, following the waterways. At one point,
All waterways or just that waterway?
so you can see it follows the river from the waterfall going down until it gets to the next junction. Then it turns and follows that one going back up to one of those other waterfalls. And that was on the map. You remember there were 7 waterfalls around the general mile radius. 2-mile
It
radius.
looks like we have some other people looking for waterfalls.
They don't know which one.
They don't know which one. However, as soon as we clear that waterfall, we're going to have people on our tail.
It would be nice to have some grenades right about now.
What if, once we find the lever, one of us stays behind and gives 20 minutes to the rest of the group to get in and then follow us shortly after? So any levers will wait to press until then. That way, at least we're ahead of them.
We find the lever, we leave someone there,
Yeah.
and we wait for everyone else to come back so that we're first through the door.
Well, once they pull that lever, we go, and then that person will have to follow after.
Needs to be someone who
Who's
can
going to stay behind
well on their own.
to pull the lever?
NPC.
Meg. Well, I told you I don't want to go down underwater.
Meg does have
Like, I assume Meg is going to volunteer, but Jordan doesn't know that.
Meg will volunteer.
Meg, you waiting half an hour to hike back will definitely give the water time to clear.
and you have the best stealth. You could stay hidden if on your own.
Yeah. All right, I'll do it. I can keep an eye on the helicopter too. You have your sat phone too, right?
Yes, but do we have more than one?
Did we have more than one? I don't think we had more than one. Flisk took the
Would
other one.
Would I have had one at all or no?
If it's not on
Just-
your character sheet right now, then you don't. Reasonable starting gear. Satellite phone. I don't think that'd be reasonable for you to have.
Even with resources?
The calling in a resource would be like you can go pick it up in the town and just get it.
But I think it might be good to leave. I mean, treating Meg like a PC still, even though I know she's not here. Leaving the sat phone with Meg might be smart, so that she could. Because if we go deep in underground and the sat phone, we still is only hope of contacting Rowan. She knows Rowan. Unfortunately, we just don't have one to contact her back.
Satellite's phone work underground.
In ancient ruins that may have some magic.
It could connect. Yeah. Well, that it could do two things. It could make the signal stronger. I don't know.
You would know that going into a cave structure where the radio can't communicate real well would not work, most likely.
Okay.
Not without wiring and stuff.
Okay. Let's check out this pyramid, though. Clear it just like in sections, not fully like cutting the ivy back, but just moving it aside so we can take a good look at any markings or locations where a lever would be.
Get a picture of everyone in front of the pyramid. Reproduce the photo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to take any time to pull the vines free? And they usually leave that crusted like ivy scum behind it, and so it takes a little bit to clear if you want to take the time to do that. Right now it's completely covered.
At least clear the facing that will.
I have a machete for this.
See, I don't think we should completely cut it away though, because once it's visible, then there's a higher chance of it being found. I mean, it's up to you.
I have a machete for that.
Some of the facing of the where we're taking picture, then try to before the picture, and then try to investigate without clearing too much all the bullets.
Well, you don't need to roll to clear it. It's just how did you want to do it, how thorough. Um, you
That's how we want to do it.
As you begin to uncover some of the sections, Gwen, you notice that along the borders, so the edges of each corner, there are inscriptions in Atlantean. It looks ancient. And as you begin to move the ivy, whether you cut it or just kind of pull it aside and kind of like clean it off, you can tell that, well, none of you are 10 feet tall, actually, so you can't really get to the top. So are you just trying to clear off what you can reach from the ground?
Yeah.
We can climb up it with each other's help to take a look at the other
You
parts.
can. It just depends on like how much you wanted to do.
But if
Yeah.
they're spotting it from seeing it in the air, leaving the top covered might be, and looking at clearing the bottom to look at it might keep it hidden, but still give us some view of what
Well,
we'll be.
could we like see if there's markings? Like could we go under the brush? Like I'm imagining like the secret garden, how the ivy covered it, but
You
you
can
could
like
move it
pull
aside.
it aside, but
Yeah.
at some point it keeps going up to the top. So it's just a matter of what you want to
Yeah.
do.
How far up are markings?
The markings go on each corner, so there'd be 8 different lines of script so two per side, basically, because it's on both edges, and it goes all the way up to the top. Gwen can read it, and it is there's no Japanese on this. It is all in Atlantean, and it's I don't have the text pre-written, which is oh well. It says hold on, let me think of exactly how it would be phrased.
I'm gonna grab some more Mountain Dew while you think.
Yeah, go for it. quick pause.
Maybe typing it out would help,
Yeah,
Adrian.
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, okay. It takes us a while to clear it anyways. This is totally accurate.
I'm trying to think of a couple different, like, how to put it into Atlantean terms. Was the Philippines always called the Philippines?
Oh,
Give
it
us
was
the
named
tip
after
on it.
King Philip's first colonized.
Okay.
Fun fact, they originally wanted to change the name from the Philippines, but another country to changing their name to Malaysia, so they ran out of ideas.
Okay. So the first 2 that you uncover on the first face, which I presume to keep it most concealed, you're doing the face facing the mountain as opposed to the X, like the other 3 directions. So on
Does it say the same thing going up every
No.
corner?
So they
Okay.
read from bottom to top, and as you uncover, the left side says the secret, and then you get up to the top with getting boosted up. You can see the last word is path, and then the next one on the right side says the island way, and then there's more on the other sides as well, if you wish to clear them.
We should get, if each text is different, we should get the entire text. Go around all to all 8 of them.
Secret path, the island way.
The next one is probably something like the One Direction.
The band isn't out yet, so I don't know what it's talking about. The One Direction.
I'm not sure if they would have this word. Let me jump on Thesaurus.
Hey, Adrian.
Yeah.
Never mind.
The waterfall gate. And then the next one is Atlantis Retreat.
Sorry.
Here, I'll post these.
Okay.
So that would be on the third side, which is facing out towards the ravine downhill on the mountain.
Two, three, four, five. That's five.
So the last three.
I'm not. The One Direction mode one doesn't seem to make sense to me yet. Waterfall Gate is obvious. I mean, we're on an island.
Hey, retreat. Does it mean like, okay, so there's a couple different ways to translate retreat. Would it be to escape, or would it be to relax, or would it be like relax away from the main
I'm
location?
assuming it's not meaning vacation. Like, I'm assuming it's escape because I don't think the Atlanteans were using this place as a vacation home.
Who knows?
It could have been just like a outpost or retreat, but I mean, it could be someplace where they fled after its destruction.
The next one you uncover says the final guard.
Atlantis retreat, the final regard. Okay, so
Not
The-
not regard, final god. That's ominous.
One big Atlantean tourist trap.
The last side is
This way,
defaced.
and they-
That's definitely ominous.
and the last side is completely defaced.
The last side I have not made yet. You can uncover it once I think of it, exactly what
Okay.
it says. Is Gwen the one who's reading this, right? So you're getting kind of probably standing on Jordan's shoulders or arms, kind of getting a boost up to reach the top.
And
Yeah,
as you're saying it, I'm writing it down. As I'm writing it
Okay.
down, I ask, is there a particular order that these are supposed to be read as? And does it say the gate where the gate is to?
it's an interesting thought. I mean, we're kind of going in order around the pyramid, but do they have an order different than they're coming in?
The island way, the one direction, the secret path to Waterfall Gate. The Waterfall Gate, the secret path.
The secret path to Waterfall Gate. One.
So reading it, the island way to the secret path, the one direction to the Waterfall Gate. Wait, what was it? The final guard.
Is there a grammar structure that would make sense to with the pyramid to how they were to their order?
All right, this is as you uncover the last one. This is the last line.
The lock in place will close. So way. Lever, the lock. The lock is the lever.
And
And it
then
opens and closes the path.
This pyramid is supposed to be a control mechanism.
yeah. And
to-
if you are the
kind of
one,
concerned by the final guardian thing. That
Oh,
seems like it's going to be a monster.
that definitely seems ominous to me.
because you're able to kind of get up there to the top, I'll have you roll either perception or investigation, Gwen.
Oh, investigation. Because this thing has to be, however it works, this thing is a control mechanism.
My guess would be the very top has the lever. That's what my guess would be.
Being
You
up
see?
close to the top, you do see kind of a break in the stone where it's not super smooth. It's like rough, but there is like the top piece of the pyramid, the top like 8 or 10 inches of the triangle. There's a line around it, so it almost looks like it's somehow separatable or something.
Can I lift or twist or unscrew the top off somehow?
Okay, you can try. That would be. Are you going to do which? Lift, twist, or
First, well, first lift, though it seems most obvious and someone would have always thought of that, but first lift and then try twisting it.
okay. So either way, roll a strength check. This will be primary attribute. As it has been here for untouched for many years, and it does not seem to do anything. As you first try to like lift it up, and it seems solid, and as you try to put pressure on one direction on the other, it still seems solid, but there's that almost like a grout line underneath it.
You would say to whoever lifting her up, it's like, there is something here at the top, but I can't turn it myself, and other than the writing, this seems to be a solid piece of stone pyramid, so if there's a control mechanism, it's likely in this top. Like, I'm assuming that because we haven't seen anything else along the face of the pyramid that would be a control mechanism.
Can Gwen and myself both lift Jordan to try to do it?
Oh, you want to have him like give him a boost to kind of get up?
Would assume that he has the highest strength out of all of us.
I don't think Meg is strength based. Yeah, Meg is Dex.
That's going to be a problem, though. I think we'll just have.
Jordan's got
We'll have
decent
Jordan.
strength. Yeah, Jordan's got above average strength, but he's not like.
He's Aquaman, not Hulk. Got it.
Well,
He's definitely more
It has
scrappy and wiry than.
So more.
Superman has a strength equal to Superman.
I mean, let's face it. There's a reason that he's Nathan Drake from the Uncharted movies and not The Rock from Jumanji.
so do you want to try to give it a go?
Definitely.
Okay, so if you kind of like trade places now that you've kind of read through, uncovered the glyphs and stuff, you stand up on kind of the hand boost between the two of them. And as you get up, you're about parallel with that top piece. You can see it. Yeah, there's this smaller pyramid that almost looks like it could be separated from the rest of it. What do you do?
Jordan's going to grab that thing, put all his weight into it, and kind of, swing his legs up to push off the cliff, the rock face, and basically put all of his weight into trying to move this thing. Hopefully it doesn't fall on him and crush his ribcage.
Okay, so using your own body momentum,
Yeah, like all of his strength, his body weight.
Yeah. And you're pulling it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It budges, and then it's almost as if a seal breaks, and it goes, and you kind of, the momentum of you're pulling it, while successful, you fall back and lose your balance, kind of thud down onto the ground. Samantha and Gwen kind of letting go of you as you land. You don't hurt yourself, but you kind of sit up there and realize you just removed whatever that lock, or just maybe it was age sealing it, but it is now loose and can be rotated.
Awesome.
And
Jordan gets up, dusts himself off, completely ignores the fact that he just literally fell on his ass.
Megumi, do you think you'll be able to climb it and move that lever around?
I can try, and Meg, without trying to get any boost, will just try to run up the pyramid and kind of grab onto the top. And she'll do that with acrobatics.
Yeah, it might be useful for climbing.
Hmm?
The vines that are here that might be still possible for climbing.
That's true.
Give us.
Yeah.
Well,
Meg tries and kind of like starts to slide back down, catches some of the vines, but still plops back.
so what
Maybe not.
do we want to do? Do we want to do a open it 40 minutes from now, close it 5 minutes after?
What?
Type of thing, or do we want to just leave it open once we open it? And then
Do we know what it does?
We should figure it out before we leave and just.
I'm betting that those rocks, it closes them and redirects the waterfall. However, I would like it closed before people follow us behind. But, well.
Can we see the waterfall from here with binoculars?
You can. Even without binoculars, the waterfall clearing, you can see the top of the waterfall.
We should make sure we have figured out how this works and then open it back up for our journey back.
Well.
We could make a really long string and you can just pull it.
You're not serious, right?
2 tin cans and a string between them?
Yishi gets it. Meg will try again to climb up the rocks.
It's going to redirect the river, but as soon as that happens...
Okay. She gets to the top where she can kind of cling to it. Do you want me to turn it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Are there people downriver, like that we see where that helicopter is?
Roll perception.
I want to make sure that helicopter isn't around. I will also ask if anybody else sees the helicopter, which is good because I don't see it.
Okay. No, Gwen can see it just further down. It's almost like circling around the other side of the Luzon mountain at this point. It is removed from the vicinity enough to where you
do have binoculars.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a settlement?
Cool.
Is there a settlement downriver where this waterfall is in view?
No, the closest settlement was, unless there's like native villages, but the closest one was where you were working in Baguio.
Because the size of this waterfall doesn't look like people should be able to see it from upstream or downstream, but you say we can see it from upstream.
Well, you're not that far. You're like a 20-minute hike, mostly uphill, on like a nearby ridge on the same mountain, and you're like just next to it, basically. But Gwen, with your perception, actually, Jordan, do you also want to roll perception?
So is the helicopter, is that over by like where the breach 6 was?
No,
like,
it's going the other
direction. Where they
direction.
thought the treasure was, rather than where that is.
Here, are we all on the main page? No, you're on the waterfall page.
We're looking at the waterfall.
Okay,
yeah.
So let's go to this. So if this is the Luzon mountain, if you can see this big yellow triangle, and like this is the waterfall. Let me change colors to red. This is the pyramid that like on the ridge, and then the helicopter is going around. Let's do green. Actually, not green. Let's do blue. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Here we go. So the helicopter's been flying around and is now going around to the other side of the mountain. If that kind of makes any sense. And if you go around this side...
We should probably hurry before it completes that loop.
Just around the corner from here is where Breach 6 is, and then just around the corner, but more straight or down, is where the base camp was with the airport, or the landing strip.
Otherwise known as Roland's Last Stand.
Mm-hmm. Now, Gwen...
actually, it's not known as that, because we don't know Roland's dead.
You are...
It's true.
Gwen, you are kind of standing still at the base of the pyramid. Meg is now climbed up and is hanging on, about to turn it. And the others are kind of looking out to see where the helicopter went. And from behind you, up against the rock face of the cliff, where the mountain continues upwards, you begin to hear noise. Kind of.
What's that? He was looking at the water with the perspective. He turns around and looks. Do you hear that?
Does it sound like dynamite?
It sounds like clinking, like metal on metal. And it sounds like it's coming from the mountain.
Oh.
And
It's that guardian thing. I'm picturing
there,
giant walking suit of armor.
what would you
Oh,
like to do?
not out here, not inside the. No.
Is it inside the mountain or outside the mountain?
It sounds like so. Let me redraw some stuff here.
Or does it sound like National Treasure 2, like the sounds of ancient devices being activated to block the waterway, you know?
It sounds like almost like shovels and picks against metal. Are you on this page now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
trees. Lots of trees.
So imagine here's the pyramid, and from here, behind this part of the mountain, is where the noise is coming from.
Oh.
So
It's bad guys digging their way through the mountain from Breach 6.
So Meg is
No,
up here on the
I think
top of
it's
the pyramid. Gwen is kind
Meg
of
just
like here.
activated the lever, correct?
No, she's like asked if we should, and she hasn't done anything with it yet. You guys
I
are
kinda-
on the ground.
I would like Meg to give us, we're a 20-minute hike. I would say give us 15 minutes and then pull the lever.
Okay. So there's no lever right now. It's just the top piece rotates.
Okay, well, then give us 15 minutes and then
rotate it.
the top of the pyramid.
I'm nervous. How long do we think it'll take for those people to get through that wall?
Do you ask
That's
that?
why I said for her to give us 15 minutes, because we'll be close enough by then. And I don't want her waiting the full 20 and getting
Caught.
Yeah, I think we should make sure we have
in the
figured
hail of
out
bullets.
how the level works before we head out.
I agree with Gwen. And
Turn
at
it
that
off.
point, Gwen, are you still? Sorry, go ahead. I'm over talking you. Sorry.
Turn it off. We see the water has stopped. Turn the water back on. We hike down there, and then she turns it off again.
At that point, I think we might as well just leave it off. The helicopter's gone. We should charge. I think we can get downhill faster than it took us to get uphill.
Gwen, are you staying in that position in between the mountain and the pyramid?
Probably not. I'm probably moving over here because I want to keep binoculars on the
Okay.
binoculars on the waterfall, and I want Meg to turn it to turn the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meg kind of wants to do that anyway, so as soon as you kind of mention it, she takes the initiative and cranks it. She does a full spin, nothing happens. She does it again, and she can see it starting to lift up. So she continues to do one more time, and then there's kind of a pop, a grinding motion, and then part of the pyramid on the face that right in front of where Jordan is, the rock begins to open outwards like a door, and the pyramid opens. And then
Is there a guardian inside?
no, you see a compartment on the inside, Jordan, including what looks to be some sort of control panel. And then you all hear, "Fire in the hole!" And then an explosion blasts through the rock on the other side of the mountain, and a tunnel opens up. This area goes.
I actually
boom.
don't see that happen because we all know cool guys don't look at explosions.
You trying to stock up on style points as I have you roll initiative because you get a style point. Initiative, everybody.
I get my bow out.
Okay. Everybody, click your tokens, please.
I'll
And
click token. Click token.
That's an old token of why I'm injured, but oh well.
Oh, you can change
Wow.
it. I didn't modify anybody's stuff.
That was a really bad initiative. Can I still have my bow out like I said I did?
It wasn't out before the explosion, so it'd be your action to draw it.
Okay.
Alright, I need to find my bad guys.
Are we really listening to Highway to the Danger Zone right there, Adrian?
Great song.
Okay, that's a 2. Alright, so Gwen...
Also, if this were really the 70s, there's no way we would have talked that much about Dynamite without making a Good Times reference. Just throwing that.
Who's listening to that? Is that actually in the audio or is that somebody else?
No, I just turned on the audio and Danger Zone is definitely playing.
Yeah, I'm feeling an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh good, none of these looks like Zombie Roland, I was worried.
So they rolled a 2 for initiative. So Gwen, it'd be your turn first.
Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, for that. She's gonna try putting a little magic on her, nothing major, but she's gonna try quickly just like speed through the ritual self. Just do a quick blessing on himself and then kind of dive inside the pyramid for cover.
Okay, yeah, so you can move in and then you want to cast magic.
Oh, 6 successes, so I've got +2 quick
For
blessing.
just to think, so for the modifier, you had a +7. Was that from touching is +2, right?
Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, that's to be. Yeah, 5 plus. Oh, I didn't do that.
So I might need a reroll for that.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay. So you kind of move in. The gates have opened, and there's enough room for 2 people to go in side by side, so you can slip in. It's dark, but as soon as you step in, oh wait, you don't have it. Never mind. No, but Jordan, your lodestone starts to tingle. But Gwen, so yeah, you have 2 successes towards your spell, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I did make a promise to Jordan I would tell him, but I kind of don't. I'm running past Jordan, kind of speaking ancient Egyptian, so hopefully he knows it's me.
Okay.
Well, with the bomb going off, I think he's expecting bad guys anyway.
Yeah, and at this point, Jordan is no longer. Yeah, at this point, Jordan is no longer of the "if my lodestone goes off, I'm shooting you" mindset. He's moved past that.
Okay. Well, how do you move past it in this scenario? Your lodestone is going. The explosion just kind of like broke through the wall, revealing a tunnel. There seems to be a couple figures through on the other side, kind of approaching.
And Gwen just ran past me and kind of noped out. She's heading back to the waterfall.
She went into the pyramid, so she ducked inside the opening that just happened.
Try to get cover behind on the edge of the door. Eventually, I'll pull my pistol once I get cover.
Yeah, Jordan's gonna take cover in the opening and pull out his pistol.
Okay, so draw and move. So you and Gwen are like side by side. The opening to the pyramid is now full. Kind of waving dust out and kind of moving. 3 figures. They look to be kind of the mercenary militia. Kind of come out, looking around, kind of shielding their eyes from the brightness. That's their turn. They move. Meg slides down the pyramid on the other side and draws her Berettas. Samantha.
I draw my bow and I wait for somebody else to make the first move because this is not what I'm used to.
Okay.
Can I get in a better position like Jordan is doing, like
So
on the other side?
the inside of the pyramid is full. Jordan and Gwen are kind of blocking the entrance to go past, but Gwen just slid down on the back side of the pyramid. You can easily get in from there on that side, and you would lose. Like they would not have line of sight on you. The pyramid would be between.
Yeah, could I do that?
Yeah. Do you want me to try to redraw this map where it's more top down?
I think I'm okay at least.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of theater of the mind, but so then it's back to Gwen.
Can I want to continue the incantation.
Okay.
But I also want to get my pistol out. I don't know if I can do both.
I think drawing is considered an action, if I remember correctly. Adam, can you proof check me on that?
Uh-huh.
You can't magic and draw?
Unless you have the quick draw talent.
Okay.
It's an action.
What about for arrows, if I get more arrows?
So, technically, I did this wrong in the last campaign. I think it would be an action to reload the bow. So the bow wouldn't be able to be fired every turn. I did that wrong in the last campaign and have recently learned the error of my ways.
So magic?
Yeah, I wish I could have finished it so I could draw my weapon next turn.
So, yeah. So the lodestone is growing more vibrant for Jordan. What do you do, Jordan? You've taken cover, drawn.
Well, time since I've shot anyone, but these guys seem to be asking for it. Also, I just raised my firearms with some of that experience, so
Okay.
yeah. So throw in my style point and Q.
Okay. So you lean out, take a shot at the first guy, nail him in the chest, and he goes ah, and like almost collapses back into his buddy. Cover! We're hostiles dead ahead. They kind of like split up running to try to get out of the way. The guy who got shot kind of retreats back into the tunnel holding his chest. They all pull out sidearms. Meg is going to move up to the side, lean around the corner, and she's going to shoot one gun at the guy facing her. She has one more style point. I'll put it in for her. The merc will roll. Now he has not been shot before, so he doesn't take the penalty. But she grazes him, and then it is Samantha's turn.
Oh, sweet. Can I lean around and shoot? I loaded last round, correct? I did. I drew.
You drew
last
your bow.
round. Yeah, okay.
I would say, yeah,
Can
that's part of that can be loading your arrow for the first one.
Yeah, for the first one, that's what I was thinking. Can I reach around and aim at the person that she just shot and shoot him with a bow and arrow?
Okay, so you want to do the top side as well?
Yeah, because I'm over by where Megumi is, so I was just going to do the same person she was.
Okay, so yeah, moving up, you can take a shot at him. He will have a -2 for his defense.
Okay. I will just go boom.
Ooh. Go Legolas.
That's a style point. Yeah, so how do you kill him?
This is the first time I've ever shot at a human target. I've hunted animals, so I'm conditioned to like aim where the heart is because I know anatomy.
Yeah.
So I'm like an inch down from that rib, that should be perfect. I aim straight for the heart and bam. And I probably don't even look at the follow through. Like as soon as I shoot, I probably duck back in because I don't know if I necessarily want to see this person fall over and die from arrow.
Yeah, so Meg leans around and takes a shot at the guy, hits him in the arm, and he's already pulled his gun. So he presents at her and is about to unload when you land an arrow right into his heart, and he collapses. He's dead. Gwen.
I wish I could have finished my enchantment last time, but so what?
I will remind you, you do have a bunch of style, though I don't know if, like, at this point you only need one more success, right?
I need one more success, so I'm gonna finish the spell and then look around inside the look around and see what I can see. See, 3 last time would have been great.
So yeah, you feel that magical presence and that energy, and looking around, you do see almost like it would be a computer back at one of the offices, but it's like this control panel spread out in front, and the keys are Atlantean letters on them. It looks like a keyboard.
If I guess it's an action to draw my weapon from my holster, so she's gonna move over towards
Like, how
the.
do you spell password in Atlantean?
She's gonna move over towards the computer to look at it while she is basically beginning to reach down towards her revolver, which I will draw next round.
Yeah, and you hear the gunshot from Meg and Jordan. It's you know it's underway. Jordan, go ahead.
It was just a joke. How do you spell password in Atlantean?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh.
5.
That was hilarious. I was laughing, but my mic was off.
Okay, if it's my turn, I am shooting whichever guy looks injured.
So the one inside the tunnel, he's got some cover now behind the rubble, but he's the one you shot last time.
The dead one looks injured.
Yeah, you don't even see the dead one
Right,
though.
if he's got cover, then I'm gonna put everything I have into shooting the last remaining guy that doesn't have cover.
Yep. Okay, and he's pointing his gun in your direction too. He looks like he's about to advance on you. Oh, but he does not. You like what, mag dump him?
I'm assuming Jordan does, like, not quite the wanted shot, but a wanted shot, where he brings his pistol around and doesn't quite curve the bullet. Yeah, like, brings the pistol around, fires as it's moving, just takes the guy out.
Yeah, and he like crumples to the ground. Random bullets and gunshots kind of are heard from the tunnel as he's sprays behind him as he's running. Nobody's really at threat from these because he's shooting wildly, but he flees down the corridor. Meg is gonna probably run up and try to. I don't know if she'd actually give chase. She'd run up and like check.
I think Meg would not want him reporting back.
Yeah, Meg will take a shot.
If you want to be more generous, you might aim for a
Meg
leg.
would use style points for that shot. Just saying.
She's out of style points. She's used all 3.
Oh.
But yeah, she takes aim and fires down into the chamber, but can't tell if it's a hit or not. Samantha?
Samantha gets another arrow out and looks around to see if there's anyone else, and probably sees the dead body and ignores that and looks for dynamite to potentially blow the mountain closed again. But
Okay. You want to go like check the guy?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
We'll go check
So
the guy. And
go
look
ahead and
around.
roll investigation. You can move up and do
Perception.
something.
I would do a perception then investigation. Is that okay?
Sure, you can perceive.
Okay. I would perceive first and then investigate after
Yep.
perceiving.
So he's armed with a handgun. He does not have a rifle. He's a utility belt and a satchel.
Investigation. Sorry.
Okay.
Investigation.
Gwen.
Gwen's action would be to draw her revolver, but Yeah, she doesn't know exactly what's going on out there, but she still wants to be armed. But I can't shoot this turn. I think I want to continue looking at the computer, seeing if I can. Is it powered? Is there an on switch?
There isn't an on switch, no. Just it looks like a minimal keyboard.
I take a look at some of the keys. Is there a waterfall on off switch type thing?
No, there's not. It looks basically like this in Atlantean.
It says go to big rock under waterfall and press.
Are you doing something on the video or something? Because I'm looking
Oh.
at the.
Just it
Oh.
looks like this.
Oh, okay. I guess I wasn't looking at the video of the chat with cameras. Okay, this is going to take some work then. If it's not obvious, he'll go back to the door and with the gun out there at this point to see what's going on outside.
Okay. Looks like there's a dead body outside. It looks like he had just been shot. And Meg is looking into the tunnel and she shoots into it.
That's probably all I can do this round.
Jordan?
Alright. So the goons are taken care of?
There's one left running back into the tunnel.
I'm going to start stealthing after him.
Okay. You want to give chase?
Stealthily.
Okay. So, if you want to...
You can tell me when I get close enough to... I'm assuming I won't be close enough this round to do anything,
no,
but...
I think, because if you're going to, like, flat out run after him type of a thing, but also try to be concealed, I'll just skip the move type stuff and just have you roll stealth to try to catch up on him. He's been injured,
Yeah,
so
so
he's...
I'm stealthing, and since this round I probably won't be close enough to attack, I'm stealthing and drawing my Tanto.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Meg would probably, like, just say to you as you're kind of running by, don't let him get away. And, yeah, go ahead and
And
roll.
I'm not sure how you can move stealthily fast. I assume it looks like Naruto running. I'm not doing that.
Not Naruto running. Like Naruto running is not at all
It's,
stealthy.
It's very flagrant.
I always thought they were supposed to be stealthy because I thought they were supposed to be ninjas.
So, you move into the blocked corridor of Breach 6, chasing after this guy. You're kind of staying low. You can see his flashlight that he's gotten out up ahead, and so that's the direction you're kind of moving. He looks back a couple times. He seems to have reloaded his gun, and there is a period where he just blindly shoots back at you. Not at you, but like at the entrance behind, just to in case someone's following him. So I'm gonna shoot at you, but with a penalty of -4 for not seeing, and you can roll your defense. And this is a 3L pistol.
That's a really good defense.
Okay, yeah, easy misses. The bullets ricochet into the walls and stuff, but he's not doesn't know that you're behind him. So once you're able to close up in on him, yeah, I'll have you roll because you're getting close enough to stab him. I'll give him one more chance to see you. So go ahead and roll another stealth.
So do I just roll the stealth or the subtle strike, which is a stealth-based move?
No, you can roll subtle strike. Yeah, that's cool.
And so if I do this, then he would use passive defense only to defend against it.
Okay, let me reroll that then. Well, how do you want to do it?
So this guy turns and shoots, and Jordan being... This is the 70s, he's a younger guy, he's probably a bit a pop culture nerd, he's the quippy guy. So the guy turns and shoots, and then Jordan just comes up, Because I'm Batman. Stabs.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah. He goes down. He has nothing left but a surprised yelp and gasp, and his breath is dead. Wow. Um, Gwen, you're kind of looking out. You can see Jordan taking off. Meg seems to kind of like jog back over to you. Um,
They've got this covered. I've got an ancient computer I gotta figure out.
Computer? She'll peek inside. Like, what? Yeah, and all so the inside it's like a hollowed out thing. The slabs of the pyramid are probably like a foot thick. So on the inside it's probably a chamber about 6 feet around, but there's only this one podium with like again just like a single keyboard.
It's one square.
Hmm?
So in D&D terms, it's like one square.
I
5
guess
foot.
yeah, it's like that, but I mean, you can fit more people in 5 feet. It's just yeah, no dancing room.
In
Well, only if
combat,
there's two people.
you can you kind of control a 5 foot square in D&D, but you could fit probably 6 more, maybe even
Yeah,
8 people.
yeah. Think like
Yeah,
an elevator. I mean, sure, that's maybe a little smaller than 5 feet, but you can pack a bunch of people into that space if you want. But Gwen doesn't go in. She just kind of looks in and like,
you mean
wow.
Meg.
Yeah, sorry, Meg. Your names are like overlaid.
So I gotta do an investigation check, I'm guessing, or linguist, or what do I need to do to figure out?
Well, do you touch the keyboard?
Um, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, is it Mac, Win, or IBM?
When you touch the keyboard, a holoprojection appears in front of you, almost like a
Is it a window?
screen. It is like almost a holographic display, and you see the image of the waterfall down below.
Okay, this is progress.
It is definitely technology you have never seen before.
Assuming that we mercenaries we can keep this out of mercenaries' hands. This is going to be the find of a lifetime. Actual Atlantean, uh, not a retreat, maybe a bad word. It was an actual Atlantean outpost.
I would come over and I would say, well, with the people following us, it may be the end of our lifetime. So you could be right with that.
Okay, so it's a hologram. Does my hand pass through it, or is it a
Yeah, if
holographic
if you
screen?
reach through it, yeah, it's transparent. It's like a projector.
This is incredible. I mean, it's before when most of mankind were building were cooking in fire pits. They had holographic technology. How do we
This is like something out of a science fiction movie.
how do we turn off the
Also, I'm
light?
assuming at this point Jordan is kind
Yeah.
of emerged from the tunnel, and as he exits the tunnel, he swings his Tanto Ghost of Tsushima style, splashing the blood at the entrance, and then sheathes it.
Yeah.
Then rejoins the party.
Yeah, you can see this like a projector broadcasting this image of the waterfall on the inside of the pyramid, and Gwen's kind of at the kiosk, if you will.
I don't want to stop pushing buttons randomly, but I mean, can I try to? I mean, maybe in
Jordan is going to make a deception roll to hide his complete shock at seeing this holographic display. Depending on how I roll, I'll tell you how he responds.
Sure. So Samantha, because you're kind of the one on the outside, you can roll empathy. I suppose
I'm
it'd
gonna assume with a 1. I'm not gonna do equip. Jordan is without a equip at the moment.
Meg looks at you and just
Yeah.
doesn't say anything, but just like, huh, he's being
Yeah,
quiet for once.
planning to walk in and make a quip, but instead his hand goes to the lodestone to see if is this a magic thing.
It is very, very much warm and vibrating.
I inform the party of this. Like, this isn't just a gizmo. This is something supernatural.
So it's not. It's a magical protection, then not
Science.
science-based protection.
Which for some reason makes it even more science fiction.
Did the keyboard? I mean, is there a waterfall button on the keyboard?
The
Oh.
keyboard is like letters, so you could type waterfall.
Okay. Type waterfall in it.
Okay. The image of the waterfall kind of zooms into the actual waterfall, and then kind of like a list of options in Atlantean comes down, like specs, height, distance, water pressure, or flow of water, like water per cubic foot per second, whatever it is, all that kind of stuff, details pop up to it.
Probably not cubic foot because
Yeah, I
you know,
forget. I don't
imperial
remember what it
system.
is. Okay. Yeah.
Are you saying the ancients were on the
It's probably the metric system.
Okay, so that's incredible. It I mean just getting on that what about the flow rate? Do I set the flow rate to 0 or rock
Yeah.
rock dam
Do
or
you want to like flow rate equals 0 or something?
flow rate equals 0 or type in rock dam or if to zoom in on the rock dam?
Okay. So you're trying these different things on the outside. Samantha, Meg, and Jordan, you see what doesn't you don't know which one it was that she was typing, but these series of like attempts of trying to type in commands, and you see the waterfall begin to whoosh, and then the water flow just ends.
Okay, I think it's time to go back to the lake.
Just
Yeah.
I mean this is incredible. I mean could, like what if I typed in like airfield
Better
or
yet, type in like meaning of life just to see what it tells us.
he typed in meaning of life and then like Greek or like the airfield name
Which airfield?
or the airfield where we were attacked or
The
the camp.
one from the camp. You
Yeah.
type these in and it does nothing change. The screen just kind of flashes and defaults back to like the view from the top of where the pyramid looks down.
So I can't just so I can't I mean this is still amazing, but I can't just type in anything modern stuff isn't showing up. But I mean,
Because it's the 70s and War Games hasn't come out, Jordan doesn't know to, not type in global thermonuclear war. Which is too bad, because he would have definitely made that joke had it been the 80s.
I was muted. I was trying to talk and I was muted.
Oh, well, sorry. Go ahead.
Gwen, I don't think the airfield would have been in existence at that time. Try searching for it based off of where we are now. So, the map, I would get it out. I would say
like
whatever measurement of unit based off of this direction.
latitude.
Yeah.
No, you type in longitude and latitudes.
Yeah, and give the location of the airfield.
Okay. The top piece of the pyramid, that top triangle, from underneath, you can see kind of the ceiling piece light up as almost like a blue propane flame shoots down. You have to kind of like duck out of the way because it's pretty strong, and the top of the pyramid lifts up into the sky and begins to fly away. The
That was a
hologram
bad.
picture of that you see from the inside begins to move as the corner almost drone of the pyramid flies down over, and from this bird's eye view, just flying down, you can see the jungle of Luzon before you, and before you know it, you kind of pass between those two low mountains, and you see the base camp. There are several jeeps along that runway. There's a crew of probably 15 Marines, soldiers, mercenaries, kind of moving about. The landing strip is empty, and it looks like it's kind of bustling with activity as actually no, there's not 15 or 20 of them. There's actually probably more like 5 or 10 at this point. But they're loading up one of the flatbeds with crates.
Do they look like they're urgently doing it? Like they have a mission to go somewhere, or just kind of?
Yeah, it looks
lolling
like
there?
they're busy. They're following they're on an objective. And they're
When the thing he shot off of this, was it like a noticeable flying disc, or was it kind of somewhat?
well, it's a pyramid. And the top of the pyramid is still kind of pyramid shaped, and on the bottom is kind of like an engine, I guess, and it's flying up. So it looks like a UFO except a triangle.
So like
A
the
little
pyramid
drone.
ship from Stargate.
You know, I have to check what that is because I don't remember that.
The what from Stargate?
The pyramid ships.
But those are huge. It's not that big.
Yeah, but yeah, like think of it. It literally is the size of like a drone. It's like a 8 by 8 type of size.
The whole concept of those ships is they actually use the pyramids as a landing pad for their ship. Not, yeah, that thing's freaking huge.
Okay, so it's like the small drone version of that.
I was not expecting a drone out of this thing. This is when it's like mouth opened in awe.
So we probably don't know what a drone is because it's the 70s.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely
An
not.
unidentified flying triangle.
It's a pyramid.
I don't know. Does this thing have weapons, or is it just like? Bruh.
Are you speaking this out loud or typing? That there is a difference.
Type in destroy. I mean, maybe not.
I don't know. I guess to try typing in target.
Death ray.
You target, and then a crosshairs does appear on this holo projection, and then it kind of like looks down at this area, this camp, and you just there's like not a bracket, but it's like a crosshairs almost on what the center of focus is.
That vehicle they're loading.
The
Target
truck.
that.
Yeah, the truck.
Okay. Does not register.
Or vehicle.
Have it move.
Vehicle does
over.
register, and it does kind of focus on one of the trucks.
Death ray.
Type in death ray or destroy.
Death ray does nothing. Destroy. A pop
Is it the
up.
one they're loading? We want it to be the one they're loading.
Oh, to the group at this point.
Okay. So, Gwen, you're the only one who could make this determination. Two things could happen here. There's the thing that would happen, and then there's the you have 5 style points.
and it's already 8:30.
Yeah, and we're overtime, so.
Okay.
Use the style.
Can I use mine too, just for kicks and giggles?
Type in
Use
destroy.
the style points. Go Independence Day on that.
Okay. Do you wish to spend 5 style points? Or 8 if Samantha, if you're wanting to burn yours too.
I will give you my style points. This is worth it.
Okay.
Don't have
I have
any.
generously
I would
donated
donate
them.
Okay. Well, you type in destroy, and well, what do you want? Do you want a rocket? Do you want a laser?
We want that whole area to be destroyed and whatever ammunition they're loading in there to just go off. Well, that's me. Go, Gwen. You answer.
I think it would be a laser. I think.
Yeah, given the size of it, I'm thinking laser. Just it wouldn't.
So
His last fight ammunition. That's just like.
Yeah.
so it's
I'm
again.
definitely picturing an Independence Day situation where the laser just comes down from above and.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's just like an infrared beam almost that just kind of hits the truck on the window at first, and then for whatever you see the scroll of like data on the thing as it senses what it's hitting, and then it like readjusts onto like the door and then onto the fuel canister on the bottom, the big tank on one of these flatbed trucks, and it just stays there, and you just wait for a couple of seconds. Nothing happens at first, but then you see it begin to heat up the metal. It begins to sizzle, and the laser eventually punctures through, and boom! The fuel container explodes, ignites the other side of the truck, and all the cargo goes flying. There are 3 of these Marines get blown off or around from the car as this big fireball erupts.
Recently, a truck containing gas has exploded, and that can be pretty fun. I feel like more should be happening with this, with ammo and potential
with your
explosive.
3 extra style points, you get the ammunition start to ignite as well. Bullets flying out without a rifled barrel. They're like going in all directions, like spinning around. There's all kinds of munitions beginning to detonate. C4 charges, military grade explosives. A crate just goes boom, 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 and the entire base camp begins to ignite. The C4 would blow up another of the jeeps, so they're down 2 vehicles, and you hear it in the background, far away, but you see it from this drone footage. And as one fireball erupts and a second one kind of erupts, the people running for cover. At that point,
Return into the drone. Get this thing out of there.
oh, that's so funny. Style point for next week for everybody. But this is kind of as the drone it blows up the camp. This is where we shall stop for tonight's chapter.
As a side
I just
note,
had to pull up the 1812 overture when you were describing that.
Yeah.
Don't have the drone come directly back to us. Have it, blow up the helicopter first.
Yeah. Well, that
then come back a different way.
Figure that out next week, but I mean,
yeah.
What about this falling into enemy hands now?
I don't think they're going to be able to use it.
Well,
unless they speak a lost language.
So, participation point, role-playing point, success point.
Danger point?
Were you in danger much, really? I guess you almost was under threat of drowning.
I almost drowned and
you
was shot at.
You did have a combat. Yeah. The combat will count for the danger point, even though they were unaware of you right off the bat. So they were stomped pretty easily. I'd say success point because you found the pyramid. I'd say the wisdom point because you uncovered the artifact from the pyramid. So yeah, all 5. 5 and experience.
Can I spend 15 points and get the quick draw so I don't have to spend an action to draw an arrow?
You can.
It would be rapid reload.
Okay,
rapid reload?
Rapid reload.
Oh.
Cool, but yes. Any other for sure experience spending that people want to do? Otherwise, I'll end the stream and we'll see everyone tomorrow or next week.
I spent all of my past experience, so I just have the 5. I'll hold on to it for now.
Okay.
I might spend it on something.
Okay. And Gwen?
What were you saying, Eric?
I'm thinking about spending some of it into the investigation, linguist, or magic, but I'll do that at the beginning of next week. So.
Okay. If you do choose magic, you are in the Atlantean pyramid on their computer. I'll just leave it at that. Well, we'll see
Yes.
everybody next week for chapter 11 of The Lost Treasure of Yamashita.